Rust is a new programming language released on May 15, 2015, providing an alternative to C or C++, but also higher level languages. So the obvious question is, why yet another programming language? Now we are going to give the answer by showing Rust's true strengths. If you are using some higher level languages running on top of abstraction layer, say Ruby or Python, you should try Rust if you want your app to be more performant. Rust is a compiled language. Like C, it controls resource directly. That's why Rust code runs very fast, as it is good for writing system software. A lot of blockchain projects are using Rust because AMP written in Rust can be really performant due to Rust's ability to fully control the hardware. Rust offers zero-cost abstraction. Rust has a lot of sweet high-level language features over some abstractions, but Rust is carefully designed so that all those abstractions are at no cost. The compiler will take care of them, and no runtime or garbage collector is required to support these abstractions. Rust plays well with other languages. Rust interfaces to other languages through the C API at zero cost. You can use C library in Rust code or use Rust library in C code. Now let's understand the Rust way with a demo. Ruby language has a method named blank, which is used to check if a string is blank. The Ruby implementation is like this. Looks simple, but performance is not so good. 964K iteration per second. So some could develop a fast blank with C. It's 10 times more performant, 10.5 M iteration per second. But looking at the code, we know it's not easy to do it right in C. There are lots of things you need to keep in mind. Finally, let's look at the implementation in Rust. Much simpler code thanks to Rust's higher level language features, and it's as performant, 11 M iteration per second. So we can say Rust is really fast because of its zero cost abstraction. For those who is using C or C++ and already have full control of the hardware, you still should try Rust if you want to be a more efficient developer. Rust offers safety guarantees that makes development so much easier. C and C++ offer great power, but also expose us in front of lots of risks. C can implement extraordinary performance, but with lower abstraction and results in human mistakes easily. Like C, C++ can be really unforgiving. Even if there is some small mistake, you will get a runtime crash if you are lucky. Otherwise, you might be trapped in a very unclear situation. If you are using C or C++, you need to worry about the hardware machine while you are implementing your features. Double effort, one output. This was exactly how I felt when I was a full-time C++ dev as my first job. However, Rust gives us a strong safety guarantees. No segment fault, no runtime crash, no dangling pointers, no out-of-bound accesses, and data risk-free. Rust achieves this by certain language features and good compiler support. If ever you do something wrong, the compiler will tell you about it. Hang without fear is Rust's slogan. You do not need to worry about your program once the compilation is complete. A lot of people love Ruby because it optimizes for programmers' happiness. Rust also wants the developer to be happier and try its best to be ergonomic. Rust supports multiple programming paradigms like generic, imperative, structured. It's also inspired by Haskell. You can do functional programming with Rust. You can explicitly define a variable to be mutable, but by default, everything is immutable. That sort of sweetness is not something C or C++ offers. Rust has great tooling. It has an NPM-like system that you can get the ready-made code as packages. Tools are available to take care of your dependency management. Rust also has great build system. That means no more handmade makefiles. Great community. Rust is from Mozilla, but more than 4/5 of contributions come from outside Mozilla. Rust compiler has more than 2,000 contributors. Dropbox and Canonical, that is the company behind Ubuntu, and other companies are using Rust. Firefox is porting its core components from C++ to Rust. Rust is a true community thing, if you know what I'm saying. Rust preserves the conveniences of high-level languages in low-level land. It's as fast as C or C++, and as safe and easy to use as higher-level languages like Python, Ruby, or Haskell. That's why lots of people move to Rust land from higher or lower world. Oh, that's all for this episode. If you want some discussion, I'm HappyPeter1983 on Twitter.